Hey everybody, McGill Billy here. Welcome to the Honky Tonk. This is a new thing we're going to start. If you don't know about us, you can find us on One More for the Good Guys podcast. I'm one of the good guys. My name's Mike, or better known as my Instagram handle, McGill Billy. You know, kind of like Hillbilly, but McGill Billy. That's me. Any rate, we're Good Guys Cigars as well, and we just come out with this and should jump right into it. This is something that we do for our OG members at Good Guys Cigars every month. We send them a little video when we have new inventory coming in. I've already untaped all the boxes. Sorry if that spoils any kind of fun, but I'm just going to pull them and show you what they are and talk to you a little bit about them, give you a brief description, and yeah, should we jump in? We should jump in. First on the list, a brand that we're excited to be having. I've tried some other of their cigars before. One of them being the Blue Bonnet, and man, knocked my socks off. Wish I'd had a few more of those to really give some proper attention to. But that is Rojas Cigars. Noel Rojas. They announced this blend actually in 2022 at the PCA convention and trade show. And what is this blend that you're speaking of, sir? It is the Street Tacos Carnitas. This is in Toro size. It is a 6x50 Toro, a very, very traditional size Toro. Again, back in 2020, they announced a new series that would eventually contain three distinct blends. First release that debuted in 21 was named the Barbacoa. That's a popular taco filling that is sheep and or goat that's cooked in the ground. And as I said earlier, in 2022 at the PCA, they showed off the second addition to the Street Tacos line named Carnitas. And that's a term used to describe a Mexican version of pulled pork. So the three Vitola line features a blend up of, again, this is Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, covering both a binder and fillers grown in Nicaragua. Row House, excuse me. Ah, dang it. I knew I was going to do it. Roadhouse. That's what I was trying not to do, and I did it anyway. So, uh, Rojas cigars, the Carnitas in the Street Taco line. All right. Nicole Rojas is a name you should watch out for, too, in the industry. Doing some really cool things with cigars. All right. Next. Let's see what's next. This is this is an oldie but a goodie, and it's kind of a new take on a classic at this point in time when this cigar was made. This is the Romeo by Romeo in Robusto. I believe it's a 5 by 54 or 56, something like that. I'd have to look again and see, but yeah, this is going to have some black and red pepper spice, leather, some dried fruit. Received a 94 rating and was named cigar number 3 of the year back in 2012. Um, let's see here. Habano wrapper, Dominican binder, and Dominican fillers. The Romeo by Romeo. So if you've had one of these, um, let me know if you haven't and you're a Romeo fan, or maybe you're new to it. And yeah, we got these at a killer deal, guys. Same with the street tacos. So we're gonna pass them along, and you all can try them too. So Romeo by Romeo. Next, what's next? Here we go. I'm excited about this cigar. The first time I heard about this cigar was on the Cigar Authority, and their CEO and I guess owner too. I hope I didn't mess that up. If I did, shame on me. I liked I liked his banter, humor, and all the stuff that he and Dave were doing on the show, talking about All Saints cigars and talking about Mickey Peg. All Saints cigars. This is the St. Patrick in 6x56 Figurado. This cigar, I'm told, is medium in strength, mild to medium through medium, with some reviewers noting a bolder kick towards the end. I'm just took a few things off of the internet of what they said about this cigar. I do know that it was a limited production cigar created in celebration of St. Patrick's Day and is handcrafted in Nicaragua with Habano, Maduro, Habano Natural, and Candela wrappers in the barber pole over a Nicaraguan binder and fillers. Medium in strength, the cigar delivers a balanced profile highlighted by notes of haze, subtle sweetness, and gentle hits of spice. I have had other All Saint cigars before. I've had the I've had the Saint Francis and the Dedicacion, and I believe the Colorado. I believe they do a Colorado too. I've had 3 or 4 different ones of them. Yeah, good cigars. Again, we got these on a hell of a deal. So, you know, if you want to try one, I'm excited to try one. I broke these out of a 5 pack, so I'm going to let it do its proper thing and rest for a bit and get used to my humidors and where I like to smoke them. And I'm going to try one and I'll let you know how it goes. All Saints, St. Patrick's Figurado. It's a 6x56. This next cigar, I also learned about this cigar on the Cigar Authority. Um, it's probably going to be a theme if you're not a follower of mine or of ours, I should say. Um, you're probably going to hear me say that a lot because I listen to those guys quite a bit. They have some of the best interviews, some of the best informative and educational shows on the podcast in the podcast world, along with the Ash Holes and the Ash Heels, where it's a group of ladies that do the Ash Holes, basically take over the Ash Holes at the end of each month. So, but this cigar is the Christoph Guardrail in the Matador size. This is a 6.5x56. So like a Toro on, on steroids, I guess. Um, as all Christophs, got the little Piggly Wiggly up here, which I think is just the coolest. I've always liked cigars with that. And I've always liked a cigar that had a closed foot. The reason I like this is because if you were in a hurry, or if you prefer, or you didn't have a cutter, or you didn't have a torch lighter, you just grab a little Piggy Wiggy, twist to go to the market, pull it right off. And with this closed foot, you can light it with a match. You can light it with a soft flame out of a Bic, as long as it's butane fueled, but it needs to be a soft flame. You don't toast it. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Just put the flame up there, rotate it as you do if you were toasting it while you're puffing, and you'll get a blast of that wrapper, which is a dark, dark Brazilian Maduro wrapper, Dominican binder, and a unique blend of rare Zimbabwean fillers as well as Dominican fillers. Um, this was named Guardrail after a motorcycle accident that Glenn Case, who is the owner of Christoph Cigars, Dave from the Cigar Authority, always says that he's the nicest guy in the cigar business. And I got to meet him back in September at the New England Cigar Expo, and I got to tell you, one of the absolute nicest guys I met there in the business. And we're going to be talking about another cigar and a little bit more of their um, why Christoph should be a brand that more people try and that should be a little bit more celebrated than what they are. They're doing something right, and we'll tell you all about that coming up with the next cigar. They say with this one, it is very satisfying with notes of chocolate, caramel, coffee, cedar, and spices with a creamy finish. So, yeah, I like all those. Look at me. You kidding me? The Christoph Guardrail. Excited. I can tell you about this one. All right. Next. What's next? Oh, yeah. All right. So the next cigar also is by Christoph. And as I was saying, Christoph started out in 2004. This cigar was released in 2024. It is the Christoph Vienti. That is, Vienti is Spanish for 20. And this was their 20th anniversary cigar. I know they're in the pack, but they got the little piggy and no closed foot on this one. So you can toast away, you can butane it, or you torch it all you want. But this is a 6.25 by 54. And so maybe Toro Extra, or maybe it's just a Toro. I'm calling it a Toro. I think they actually called it a Toro too, by the way. So we won't get in any trouble about that. This was this was my cigar of the year for Good Guys Cigars, and I smoked this the very first time we were having a meeting, and I was kind of in between on whether or not I was going to smoke a cigar. I knew our meeting was kind of getting close to being over, and I was like, well, I don't know. I don't really want to, you know, do I want to stay out the extra time it's going to take me to smoke it, or do I want to get on home? Blah blah blah, all that cheap shit. And I decided I was going to smoke it because I had been really excited about trying them, and I had gotten one through a Cigar of the Month club. Yeah, guys, I'm just like you. I'm just living out my dream in the honky tonk with the business we're running. So, but I still get different Cigar of the Month clubs. I still have two. I have one that's like a unicorn kind of rare cigars. I get 4 or 5 of those a month, or how many ever it is. And then I also do a Standard and Twain, which we'll talk to you more about them. But I was so excited, and I decided to smoke this one. And man, from the first time I smoked it to the second one I smoked, to the third one, to the 10th, to the 15th, to the 100th, I just loved this cigar. It's very complex. There's coffee. There's chocolate. Um, there's dark cherry type spices. There's fudge and some caramelly sweetness. Um, kind of dark sweetness too, almost kind of maybe mix in a little molasses there. Um, you're going to have just a little bit of white pepper. You're going to get some other um, spices, kind of baking spices notes, like brown sugar, maybe uh, some nut, maybe kind of like a hazelnut, but just a killer cigar. That's the Christoph Vienti, my Good Guys Cigar of the Year. And if you want to see that episode, you can go back in our future, or it'll be hard to go back into the future unless you're going back to the future, which then you can make a bunch of movies about. Go back in the past episodes, look it up, our cigars of the year, see what you think about those. Christoph Vienti stands for 20, and it's no short. Um, it's hard to last in the premium cigar business as a maker for 20 years. So, Glen Case, I'll stand by what Dave said. One of the absolute nicest guys in the cigar business. All right. Next one I am very excited for. And as soon as you see it, you're going to say, well, why are you excited about that one? That's been out forever. This blah, 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 blah. Well, you're right. It has been out forever, and it has been abba dabba 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 dooba 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 da. Except all the abba dabba dooba dabba dabba dooba dabba dabba dooba 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 das has been on Cigar of the Year lists since 2014 when it won number one cigar of the year from Cigar Aficionado. It is the Oliva V in Melanio. This is in a Corona size. It is 4.5 by 46. Known for its complex flavors of leather, coffee, earth, cocoa, and sweet spice. A lot of you probably had this cigar. The first time I ever smoked an Oliva V, Siri V Melanio was in this size, believe it or not. And I called Jamie, or excuse me, I texted Jamie and I said, I think I may have had one of the absolute best cigars I've ever smoked. And he goes, man, that's a really tall order. And it was one of these little guys right here. They are tried and true. They're great construction. They burn great, draw great. I mean, taste great. Um, if you've not had them, really excited about this size in particular because, and here's why, as a retailer, we have so many people that are new to cigars and so many people that only want to spend X amount of time. Well, listen, I don't want to, if you tell me I want to commit 30 minutes to smoking a cigar, I don't want to sell you a Churchill, right? You know why? Because I don't want just a sale. I want a client. I want a customer. I want somebody that knows that I'm telling them the truth and I can give them the absolute best thing I got for a very, very good price and a very limited amount of your time to try something that many think is one of the best in the world. So that's why I'm excited about this little fella in the Corona size. And that's why I'm excited because I want to pass it along to our customers. You know, it's wintertime, right? Um, well, be a great wintertime smoke, and you could smoke one of the best. So, and we got them on a hell of a deal. So we'll pass it along to you. All right, that's it. That's that. If you want to know more about what you've seen here and or more about the podcast, check out anywhere you get your pods that we're available at One More for the Good Guys Cigars. You can go to goodguyscigars. Yeah, you know the rest of that, right? With all the craziness with the laws and the restrictions that YouTube's been doing on tobacco, especially premium cigars, click your notification buttons or your bell. Hit the like button, the subscribe button. It's a free, complete free way to support the channel, and it freely helps us. Okay, it's that simple. So don't crush a man's dreams in his honky tonk about premium hand rolled cigars. Just hit the click the like, hit the subscribe button and notifications. So yeah, I think that's it. That's that. If you want to know more about the podcast, like I said, check us out. It's 85% cigar content. Every once in a while, we interview some local artists here because I've been a musician. Jamie and I both have been musicians for about 20 something years now. And we like to talk to those people and talk music too. So if you think that's something you'd like to do, check us out. Remember one thing, if you don't remember anything at all, be kind. It doesn't cost a dime to be kind to folks, but there's always a price to be paid for cruelty. Life is too short to smoke bad cigars. And that's one more for the good guys.